Welcome to Inside NLCS Singapore, a series where we have conversations with the people that shape our community. And we have a very, very special guest with us today. Ruben, founding student at NLCS Singapore, member of the Big Six leadership team, and someone who has just graduated from our school with a perfect 45-point IB Diploma. Ruben, fantastic to have you back with us.
Thank you very much for having me.
We'll come to that perfect score later and have a conversation about it, of course. But let's start at the beginning. And you were with us right at the beginning of the school. What are your memories of those first few weeks and months in a brand new school? For those that don't know and are listening to this, we had to open in a temporary location at a convention centre. Just give us some initial reflections on those days.
To answer your question, my memories from those days are numerous. It's colloquially known within the school and the students who were there as just being the Suntec days, because that was the convention centre that we opened in. And honestly, it was really, really unique, I'd say. I think that the school and the school's management really opened up and allowed the students to be part of this common mission. And it really pulled through from right through the first term where we were in the convention centre into moving into the current campus on Depot Road. And I remember, obviously, it was in the middle of the second COVID lockdown where the school invited the students to come in, obviously sticking to the guidelines, and help kind of build a couple of shelves for the school, help set up the campus for the new term, because nobody was leaving the country. And so it was a wonderful break from kind of being locked inside your own house. And also a very, very special thing for the school to offer. I mean, it all felt like coming into school to help set up the campus, felt like teachers and students not only were kind of getting close to each other and building that relationship, but all working towards, like I said before, this common mission of getting the school up and running. And obviously all of the teacher-student relationships have been established in Suntec in what was, in my opinion, a fantastic way to open a school despite the circumstances. Mr. Guy, our librarian, who I think appeared on a previous episode, invited loads of students to come and help literally unpack the library from thousands of books being ordered in one slightly larger room in Suntec City. And it was truly a very special experience.
Yeah. It's a real lesson, isn't it, in how adverse conditions really pull people together, and that sense of togetherness, I think, was really special. Those that were involved in that, I don't think we'll ever forget that.
No, not at all.
What about the NLCS ethos, Ruben? We talk about the NLCS ethos, and we talk about how unique it is, and we do believe that it's a very unique approach to education. But give us the student perspective. Is it a case that a school is just a school regardless of what you say and what you believe in, or did you find something unique, something special about what we offer?
Absolutely. I think that the primary thing that comes to mind when I hear like the school ethos and things like that is the quality of teaching and the way that the teachers adapt and change their style to fit the needs of the class. My classes back when I was in school last year, and also all 5 years that I was at the school, always felt very customized. And it felt like they were addressing the exact needs and what I was requiring. And that was purely a testament to the teachers and their support from the school itself and the way that the school was set up. I found that there was never a moment where I was not interested in a class that I was taking. There was never a moment that I felt that I was not understanding something and the class was maybe going too quickly or too slowly. It was all just very much suited to the individual student's need. I understand that being one of the opening years, one of the older years of the school, I think the third graduating year, the class sizes were definitely a little bit smaller. But even in my larger classes like maths in the IB, it all felt very much, I felt like I was seen in all of my lessons. And quite frankly, in my experience in school, that's something that I haven't seen anywhere else. And it does extend outside of the classroom as well, not just my academics, not just teachers teaching me. It also extends to the opportunities that I was given, the support that I received for things that I also brought to the school, like wheelchair rugby, which I would love to talk about if we had the time. And everything else that I wanted to experience alongside my actual studies themselves.
Yeah. So you mention how important it is to be seen, to have that individualized attention. What about that aspect of our ethos where we talk about our teachers are constantly challenging you, constantly stretching, constantly pushing you to the next level? Have you got any specific examples where maybe you would say, here's where I was really challenged and really stretched in a particular subject or topic?
Definitely. I'd say that really started to show itself in my final 2 years of school, when I was especially preparing for the entrance exams for Oxford and also Imperial. I sat in on several one-on-one sessions with the physics department, and they presented me with these questions that weren't just from the Oxford guide themselves, but also homemade, and they were really, really quite challenging, and they really pushed my understanding and also what I thought about both physics and maths at the time. And I remember I was still a little bit unsure whether or not I wanted to pursue engineering as an undergraduate course, and these sessions really helped, I guess, enhance my interest in it and definitely foster a passion for both physics and maths and engineering by extension. And that was the exact moment I realized that the school is absolutely there for me, and also to push me and to kind of get me much further than I would go myself.
Okay. Let's talk about that perfect 45 points. I mean, Ruben, a phenomenal achievement, and we are all beyond proud of what you've achieved. What do you think made the difference to you? What were the factors that really made that perfect 45 score possible for you?
I mean, I'm not just saying this because I'm sitting on a podcast with my former headmaster, but truly a substantial amount of credit needs to be given to the support network provided by the school. I think that whether or not that comes through from my teachers in lessons, outside in societies, and just general conversations here and there, I never once felt like I was going through the entire process myself. And I never once felt that there was no one I could go to ask for academic support and social support when it was needed during that one time in the beginning of grade 12. I think that support network also extends outside of school to my family as well, and who are kind of allowing me to just go straight to my room after school and focus on my work and my homework to get that extra study done. And my friends as well. Everything and everyone around me supported me through the entire process, and that's an undeniable factor contributing to my score in the end. I think that there are a couple of ways that I thought about what I could do, and obviously retrospectively what I could advise people going into the IB. And really one thing came to mind, and it's my personal experience, so by no means, as a disclaimer, by no means listen to this. But I went into the IB with this mindset of I want to work the next 2 years so that in the future I won't regret how much I did. And no matter the outcome, there will be no doubt that I gave it my all, and that was all that I could have done. And that may or may not have been the most healthy approach to studying. It definitely made for rigorous and intense times, at the least. However, it was certainly productive, and I left feeling very satisfied with my work even before the results came through. And in my opinion, it was the way that worked for me. And of course, I have to reiterate, none of that would have been possible if I didn't have the support of a brilliant team of teachers and academic staff alongside me.
Okay, thank you for that. And I guess if we extend that notion of giving advice to younger students, because of the type of school that we are and the type of students that we attract, we've got a huge amount of high-achieving, highly motivated students who are aiming high. But the reality is that can bring a huge amount of pressure as well, can't it? What advice would you give to students that are doing exactly as you describe, but are starting to feel that pressure and maybe starting to struggle with the intensity of that experience?
I'd say reach out to someone, just having a conversation. It doesn't have to be professional help or anything like that. just having a conversation with someone else to share your experience and just offload a little bit is an incredibly productive thing to do. On top of that, I think probably the second most important thing that I was focusing on was just taking it one step at a time, because the IB is strenuous, to say the least. There are certainly loads of deadlines that kind of crop up on the horizon. Your final grade is not just the exams you take at the end. They're a culmination of 2 years of commitment, of homeworks, of coursework, of even conversations with teachers occasionally, of projects, group work. It's truly a 2-year-long commitment. And so it's very important that you don't get lost looking too far and you just take it one step at a time. And sometimes it's important to remind yourself that this is an important step in your life at the moment. But as soon as you go to university, as soon as you progress, it very quickly diminishes. And people focus on what has happened recently. And so at the end of the day, trust that you're going to be fine and reach out to someone, talk to someone, because they'll tell you the same thing. Everything will work out in the end. It's true. In 2 years' time, this may or may not sound a little bit up in the air, but at the end of the day, going into the IB, 2 years from that moment that you step into school for the first time, you will be done, one way or another. And that is in some way, for me, comforting.
Yeah. Okay, thank you for that. Ruben, you've been a real leader in our community in so many senses. A member of the Big Six, as we've mentioned, student welfare ambassador, leading a number of aspects of Spirit Week, and the list goes on and on. But you've already mentioned wheelchair rugby. Just give us that story, give us that background.
Wheelchair rugby was definitely one of the major highlights of my school experience. I was introduced to the Singapore wheelchair rugby team by a friend of my mother's. And since then, I attended sessions before the IB began, around the end of grade 10, when I was about 15, I believe, or 16. And from there, I was welcomed into this community that was introducing me to a sport that I had never before even heard of. And since then, it's been a regular weekly commitment that I enjoy. It's a highlight of my week every single week, and I'm being brutally honest about that. I mean, it's one of the most fun sports I've ever played. Think about it a little bit like a very aggressive bumper cars with iron wheelchairs that can go as fast as you can take them, and it's really, really quite an experience. And when I thought about bringing that to the school at the beginning of my IB experience and kind of offering a partnership or a collaboration between the school and the team, I was a little bit skeptical that it would be quite difficult to push through, and any sort of worry or doubt that I had was immediately eradicated as soon as I brought it to one of the vice principals, who immediately just welcomed the idea, got the project running in record time of 2 weeks, signed all the way to the top with Mr. Friend, and was up off the ground in about a month, which was a crazy fast turnaround. And since then, I mean, the team has hosted many exhibition matches and tournaments on the school grounds, and the school is always posting the team's Instagram posts on their Instagram as well. And it's really nice to see that type of support for a community that I do care very deeply about. And yeah, I mean, it was wonderful to get the students to be involved in that as well, with dress-up days and things like that.
It's a project that means an awful lot to our school. If you'll forgive me for suggesting, I think you've probably underplayed your role in making that all such a success. Because, of course, you've spoken about vice principals and me and board members signing off on agreements. But it was you that actually brought that idea to the school, put forward that proposal, and made it happen. So we owe you a huge debt, Ruben, for making that possible. Ruben, what's next for you, academically and personally? Tell us what the next few years hold.
So the next few years, I'm going into national service at the beginning of October. I'll be serving 2 years in Singapore before I head off to Imperial College London to study mechanical engineering, which I'm very, very excited for. I'm sure the first term will be a little bit tough, 2 years off the desk. But, I mean, they're incredibly exciting. And my plans past that, I'm not 100% sure yet. As I said earlier, I'm still taking it one step at a time. But I look forward to hopefully being able to work with the school as well in the future and just offer any sort of advice, any sort of support to students going through the IB, because it is absolutely a brilliant experience for a taster of what it's like to really work hard for something that I'm sure anyone who goes into is dedicated to. But it's tough. It is tough. And once you get through, you will definitely look back fondly, as I do. And between then and now, I suppose just trying to spend a little bit more time with my family as well, which I'm not sure if that's what you're asking, but definitely the last 2 years I lost out on that a little bit, but that's okay. Yeah, because sometimes it happens.
Yeah. Okay. Ruben, in closing, we've stolen an idea from a famous podcast, and we ask every guest to leave a question for the guest that follows. And the question, therefore, that I've got for you was set by one of our parents. And the question simply is, what's your favourite restaurant in Singapore?
Ooh. Well, my favourite restaurant in Singapore, I'd have to say, is I can't say the Italian, but it's Otto Ristorante. Otto's. It's at the very bottom of a Guaco Tower, so you can't miss it. And it is delicious. Their black truffle risotto is off the charts. It's off the charts. So I would definitely say that's my favourite restaurant. I really hope they get some exposure from this as well. So please do, pay it a visit. They're really friendly and the food is crazy.
Okay, thank you. Otto's noted down. That's my weekend mission. Ruben, thank you for everything that you've done for our school and the contributions that you've made. As I've said, we're just beyond proud of what you've achieved. And thank you for this conversation.
Thank you very much for having me.